Spirit Sports Consultants presents
NFL Week 4 Best Bets and All Picks. Our weekly process is our second of three. First is to give you our forecasted scores. Now we take a look at the lines and give you our best plays and pick recommendations. And our first game is the Lions at the Packers, the Thursday night special. And this game exemplifies exactly why we do multiple videos. We come up with an initial forecast before we watch all the games from Sunday. And what we had there was 31-27 Packers. Looked to us like the Packers had an unbelievable comeback against the Saints. But then we watched a little closer. A little bit of a lucky win with the Saints missing a field goal. Also, the Saints lost Derek Carr, therefore enabling the comeback for the Packers. So we like the Lions here. Still unknown whether Aaron Jones and Christian Watson return for the Packers. If so, that might give them a boost. We still think the Lions are the stronger team here. Looking at similar opponents, they both faced the Falcons. Lions beat them convincingly in Detroit. Packers struggled against them at Atlanta. A little different playing them on the road, but still the Lions did better against the same opponent. And before we continue, just a reminder to please subscribe to our channel. We greatly appreciate it. As the month of October approaches, we've got a lot more going on. We've got our weekly NFL picks, best bets, such as this video. We're going to start doing more college. We just released our week 5 picks, got a couple of games there to look at. Major League Baseball, now the playoffs are about to start. We're going to get into each round and give you our forecast there. And back to the games, we have the Falcons and the Jaguars in one of the first London games of the season, if not the first. And we like Jacksonville here. We've been high on the Falcons all year, but we worry the Lions may have exposed that Pats defense a little bit. So we're going to go with Jacksonville here in a close one, 24-21. We think the best play on this game is going to be the under. Look for a number of 44. Going back and watching the Falcons-Lions game, Falcons actually did a good job keeping the Lions down to 13 up until the fourth quarter, and it really wasn't that bad a performance for the pass defense. Jacksonville has not impressed with their pass offense. Too many drops. Take the under. Next up, we have the Dolphins at the Bills, and this was a split decision for us. The eyeball test had us ranking Miami here with the win, 34-31. Looking at the yardage, what we call the second-level analytics, detailed yardage information has the Bills winning a close one, but the scoring should increase. So what we have here, we're going to go with the over 53.5. We actually got it over at 50. Look for a lower number. This should be an unbelievable game. Next up, we have the Vikings going to Charlotte to face the Carolina Panthers. We don't believe the Vikings should be 0-3. We look back at their turnover ratio, and it's unbelievable to us. They're like -7 in turnover ratio. So we went back and investigated those turnovers, watched their games. Oh my God, some of the most flukish looking plays you've ever seen. Missed interceptions, tip balls, the play at the end of the game against the Chargers. Oh, really? Forced ball in the middle. Now, a little bit of that was bad coaching and execution. We think there's a little bit of a luck factor here, so we like the Vikings riding the ship. I think the best play here is Minnesota -3. Another matchup of winless teams features the Broncos going up to the Windy City to face the Bears. We're going to call the Broncos here 21-13. No real rationale. We just think that their offense is ultimately better. We think it's just a matter of time before Sean Payton puts it together, and the defense should be far better than it's played so far based on 2022 stats. That's our position. Next up, we have an AFC North battle. The Ravens going to Cleveland to face the Browns. And our initial pick in this one, because we like Lamar Jackson better than Deshaun Watson, was Ravens 27-20. Again, second level analysis going deep into the yardage statistics gives us Cleveland -2.5. Looking at the under 42, we think this will be a low scoring game. The Ravens shut down the run. That's what the Browns like to do. But looking at the Browns, the number one defense in the NFL, new coordinator Jim Schwartz has really motivated that talent that was already good and took them to a new level. They allow 52 yards on the ground and 111 per game. Take the under here. Steelers at the Texans. These teams are closer than most people probably realize. We're going to go with the hometown Texans here, 24-21. Steelers are phenomenal pass rush. Haven't shown us much on offense, but we think that C.J. Stroud can outperform Kenny Pickett in this one. Go Texans. Next, we have the Rams going in Indy to face the Colts. We think if Anthony Richardson plays, go with the Colts 21-17. If he does not, take the Rams. So a conditional play here. We think the Rams are victimized what we call a bullshit game against the Bengals. That call, ruling him out of bounds, it cost him a touchdown, cost him the game. Next, we have the Bucks going to New Orleans, Caesars Superdome to face the Saints. Like the Saints here, 27-17. We think they will be without quarterback Derek Carr. We think Jameis Winston will do just fine, but they do get Alvin Kamara back, which should spark that offense, and then along with those receiving threats that they have, give them the edge. We like New Orleans -3. We think the Buccaneers were exposed. Their big wins were against poor defenses. The Bears and Vikings against a strong defense, they struggle. Unfortunately for Baker, the Saints' pass defense is number 4 in yards per attempt and top 10 in yards allowed. Not a good sign. Commanders at the Eagles. We picked on Sam Howell a little bit in our prior video, but in looking at the games a little closer, we really should blame the offensive line. No protection. The poor guy took 9 sacks, forced 4 throws leading to picks. And then with this offensive line going up against Jalen Carter, probably the defensive rookie of the year candidate, look out. Bengals at the Titans. If Joe Burrow were fully healthy, we would pick the Bengals in this game. But we don't believe that he is. We're going to go with the Titans 21-13. We think Coach Mike Vrabel is going to have a defensive scheme that forces Joe Burrow to throw deep, which we don't feel that he's able to do with that weak calf. So we're going to go with the Titans here 21-13. Raiders at the Chargers. Jimmy G is out. Not sure who will start for the Raiders at quarterback. We like the Chargers here 31-21. Team has not impressed us at all. That game against the Vikings, they should have lost. That call to go for it on 4th down. But we're going to go with the Chargers money line. Have not been impressed by either of these teams. Patriots and the Cowboys. As bad as the Cowboys looked against the Cardinals, we think they bounce back here. We like the Cowboys 24-17. We think their fierce pass rush is going to get after Mac Jones, slow him down a little bit. We think that their offense is going to right the ship, and they'll do just fine. Next up, we have the Cardinals going to Santa Clara to face the 49ers. We think the Cardinals have been very impressive so far. A huge win against the Cowboys. We love the 49ers here 28-10 for a couple of reasons. From a yardage perspective, the Cardinal defense allows 4.5 yards per rush. Not good against a rush-dominant team in the 49ers. We think the 49ers roll. Chiefs at the Jets. Now, we keep trying to find optimism for Jets fans. We love that defense. It's phenomenal, the running game. But going up against Patrick Mahomes and that offense is finally starting to click. We saw that coming in the second half of the Jags game we attended. We like them 31-21 over the Jets. And for our final game, we have the Seahawks going east to face the New York Giants. Our initial pick here was 21-17. We've updated that to Seattle 28-21. And performing our second level analytics, we look at the yardage numbers, and the Seahawks are unbelievable against the run, and that's what the Giants like to do. Top 3 rush defense, allow 79 yards on the ground per game, and their pass defense has been suspect, but the Giants really don't have a dominant pass offense, so we like the Seahawks here, 28-21.
That's all for this time. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to sharing our future videos with you.